are a lot of annoying and bad fan bases throughout the MMA community, but the worst one I think it belongs to is this man on the screen right here, Jon Jones. His fan base has got to be one of the worst I've ever seen throughout MMA history. And I think a lot of people can agree with me on this. His fans just consist of dumb, delusional, and dumb. And like I said, a lot of people could probably agree with me on this. And also, it's shown due to this whole Aspinall and Cyril Gane situation, which I'm about to get into in a second. Now, if you guys are watching this video, please go down and leave a like, subscribe, and yeah, let's get into it. So first off, like I just said, Jon Jones has the worst fan base in MMA history. I don't care. He literally does. His fans are just, like I said, dumb and delusional. And it's showed by this Aspinall situation, the Aspinall and Gane situation, of why that is. So if you guys remember what happened last weekend, or yeah, damn, it's actually almost last weekend again already. Holy. It's Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gane just they were fighting, and at the end it ended up being a no contest because Cyril Gane double eye poked Tom Aspinall, and yeah, the fight got called off because Tom Aspinall was losing vision in one of his eyes. But yeah, that's how it went. The fight had to get stopped because Tom Aspinall couldn't see out of his eye, and yeah, that's it. Then you see Jon Jones fans, and here's just, oh my god, so annoying and insufferable. Holy shit! After the fight ends, and I knew this was gonna happen either way, if Tom won or not, I knew this was gonna happen. Jon Jones fans are saying, "Oh yeah, Tom quit. Oh my God, Cyril Gane was dominating Tom." I don't know what fight these guys were watching. And this is another thing about Jones fans. They're the best rage baiters ever. I actually I don't even know if they're rage baiting or they're just dumb. If they are rage baiting, they are the greatest rage baiters ever, and it works. It really works because of how stupid they sound. Because, oh yeah, Cyril Gane was absolutely dominating Tom Aspinall. He was up by 3 strikes, 30-27. And let's not forget, guys, Cyril Gane busted Tom's nose open. Tom got a nosebleed. He didn't bust him open, but like he made his nose bleed. That's crazy, guys. Tom is in a fight and he gets punched in the face and his nose bleeds. That's never been seen before. He didn't stand a chance with the great Jon Jones. He didn't stand a chance with him at all. But yeah, according to Jon Jones fans, that just shows that Cyril Gane was dominating him. Even though like there was still 25 seconds left, Tom could have easily just stole the round. It was still neck and neck. Cyril might have been winning by, like I said in the other video, he was winning by a small margin. I'm not denying that, but it wasn't as dominant as people said it was. They're making it sound like Cyril Gane was literally 10-7ing him, 10-7ing him, and Tom Aspinall literally could have just still taken the round with 25 seconds left. It was not that far off at all. Not even far. It was close, razor close. And we don't even know what could have happened because, Tom's eyes got poked. And now all of a sudden, and it's a big problem now. Because a guy, so this is the Jones fans' knowledge, by the way. This is the Jones fans' logic. This is how they think. So Tom Aspinall is a quitter because he cannot see out of one of his eyes, and he's a fake fighter. Yeah. So what happens to Cyril Gane then? The guy who cheated, now he gets a big advantage over Tom Aspinall. Now because Cyril's the one that cheated and poked him in the eyes. Tom has to continue fighting and give the cheater a chance to take his belt now. A big chance. I'm not even gonna lie with you. If Tom was really telling the truth, and I think he was, because the eye poke, what I saw was a real good looking eye poke. That was a good eye poke. He caught him good in both eyes. And I believe Tom couldn't see. He didn't quit. So yeah, basically what they're saying is Cyril Gane the cheater can poke Tom's eye, make him lose his vision, and Tom has to continue fighting so Cyril Gane could win the fight and make Tom look even worse. That's just how they think. That's how they think. And I guarantee you, if Tom continued, you can see, Cyril would have beaten him, which is exactly what they want. That's why they said Tom's a quitter, because they knew Cyril Gane would probably beat him. I think he would have too. If you got a striker in front of you like Cyril Gane, you can't even see out of one eye, you're gonna lose. I think Tom would have lost, and that's exactly what they wanted. That's why they were pissed off he quit. Give the cheater the advantage and let Tom lose. They don't care because Jones fans are just used to it because Jon Jones has a history of eye poking people, and it's unbelievable. It's absolutely insane. And it's just crazy to me. It's just crazy. Because you can because in their heads, yeah, give the cheater the advantage, and blame the guy who's been poked in the eye brutally in both, so we can give the cheater an advantage, so he can win the belt, so we can make Jones look even better. Anyway, they'll find any way to make Tom look bad compared to Jones. I'm telling you, and I'm telling you this right now. I'm telling you this right now. If Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall were never involved with each other and there's no beef ever going on, nothing, like their names were never intertwined ever somehow, fans would not be saying this shit. I hope you know that. They would not be saying this. They would be saying, oh, they would be turning on Cyril Gane. They really would. They would actually be blaming Cyril Gane, and they wouldn't be saying Tom Aspinall was getting dominated. They would say it was a competitive fight. That's just how it is. It's because they're Jones fans, and they try to find any way that Tom would like somehow lose to him. They just find anything. They find anything. Because Tom got punched in the face and he got his nose bloody. It means he stands no chance with Jon Jones. It's unbelievable. But stupid situation, very stupid. If Tom Aspinall and Jon Jones were not even like talked about in the same like category as Tom like beats him or something like that, we would have never seen those comments saying Tom quit the fight. That's just how it is. They just trying to do anything so Jones can get one up. That's how it is. And also, even if Tom did win this fight, I knew he was going to get flamed. Either way, it was like that's how I know that's how Jones fans are. If he even won, they'd still find a way to criticize him. They'd say, "Oh yeah, Jones finished him in like 2 minutes. Tom almost took him to around two." Yeah, I knew that. I even said I thought Tom was going to take him 2 minutes or 3 minutes because Cyril Gane is a tough fight for him. I think out of everyone in the division, Cyril Gane is a stylistic nightmare for Tom Aspinall. Even if he is, I still think Tom was confidently going to win. I didn't think he'd beat him early. I knew it was going to go past him, and I thought you'd get him in 2 or 3 minutes. Props to Gane. Almost took him to round two. But even like I thought, even though Cyril Gane was a stylistic nightmare, I still thought Tom was confidently going to win. I didn't think he beat him that early, but I just thought he was better than him in every section of the MMA game. I thought he was better than like in the striking, the grappling. And yeah, we don't even know how it could have gone. Tom could have still knocked him out if the eye poke didn't happen. But yeah, it was just destined to happen. Jones fans try to find anything to make Tom Aspinall look bad so they can make Jones look better, and just just a little bit of adversity Tom gets, they try to use it as in why Jones beats him. But yeah, let's move on from this topic now. Let's talk about the peak of the Aspinall Jones saga. So I'm on Instagram, I'm scrolling, right? Oh my god, it just pisses me off thinking about it. The one Jones fan saying, what, and there's a lot of these guys too, a lot of them. They will say, what has Tom done to even like be in the grass, like be in the same octagon as Jon Jones? Jon Jones, first off, is the champ of Tom Aspinall's division, who Tom Aspinall has already KO'd 5 ranked opponents and slash submitted them in round one and defended his interim belt already. He's cleaned out all the top opponents in his division. So, that's why he deserves a title shot against Jones. But yeah, they'll say, and then when you tell them about that, they'll say, but his resume doesn't even compare to Jon Jones's. Nowhere near. This is what I mean by the stupidity of Jones fans. This is what I mean. Of course, Tom Aspinall's resume wouldn't be as good. He started in the UFC in 2020. Jon Jones has been there since like what 2000, like before 2011. Forgot how many years. How many years did he start? A long time ago. Of course, he'd have a better resume. Every contender going to fight their champion has a worse resume than the champion. But if you're not Merab has probably the only exception in that conversation. He literally had a title run itself as a contender. Crazy resume by Merab. Just a stupid excuse. That's how it is with every champion contender. The contender has the worst resume. Topuria fought Bryce Mitchell and Josh Emmett. Submitted Bryce Mitchell in round two. Beat Josh Emmett through 5 rounds in a dominant decision. Volk didn't care. Volk had a way better resume than Topuria did at the time. Way better. Unbelievably better. Holloway 3 times. Aldo, Ortega, Chad Mendez, the Korean Zombie. Beat all those guys. Yair Rodriguez, beat all those guys. All Topuria had going for him was a Josh Emmett and Bryce Mitchell win. And got a title shot. Was Volk bitching like this? Saying, oh yeah, he doesn't deserve to fight me. He doesn't deserve to do that. It's unbelievable. Volk was not afraid. He knew Topuria would be a tough fight for him. He still took it because Volk is a real champ and he's not afraid of anyone, no matter the disadvantages he has going into that fight. Volk's always been going into fights as the smaller guy. He doesn't give a shit. That's a true champ right there. But no, Jones fans will just like completely like change the whole thing because it's Jon Jones and they glaze him, and that's all. That's their entire life. They just glaze Jon Jones, and they're most stupidest people alive. And here's another thing that really freaking pisses me off about Jon Jones fans. Like this is another thing that pisses me off. You go in comments and you'll see like talks of like, let's say, Jon Jones and Alex Pereira. Saw this like yesterday, and a lot of other times too. Jones in a round, Jones by murder. When the fuck does he do that? When does he ever do that? When does Jon Jones ever murder someone or brutally dominate them in the octagon? Ever since his opponents turned like ever since he started fighting the opponents like his size, he's never been able to do that unless they're oversized middleweights. He's never been able to do that. Literally couldn't even finish Anthony Smith. The guy who's literally like a free finish for any fighter that has like a decent level of skill. A free finish. And literally illegally need Smith in the head. It still couldn't finish him. Unbelievable. Took Santos on one leg to a split decision. Took an old man Stipe who was 42, way past his prime, nearly 4 rounds. That Stipe looked horrible and was still catching Jones with good shots. Looked horrible. Jones nearly took him 4 rounds. Lost to Reyes, who got KO'd by 5 others after that. Jones is the only one in his losing record to take him to a decision, and he didn't even win the fight. Anyone who says Jones won that, you're just a glazer. And that's another thing. Jones Glazers will they literally come up with this stuff in their head. When I'm hearing arguments about who won this, Jones or Reyes, obviously Dominic Reyes won. He clearly won the first 3. You hear these fans saying, "Oh yeah, but remember that takedown Jones landed in round 3?" What? That just proves right there. Most Jones fans are just casuals that just watch the edits of Jon Jones and he's the greatest of all time. Most Jones fans don't even really watch the sport if you really think about it. Someone said he took him down in Dominic Reyes down in round 3. There was never even a takedown landed in the first 3 rounds. Ridiculous. Unbelievable. And then all of a sudden at the end of round 4, and then round 4 and 5, they'll just change all logic and say Reyes is the one that looked more tired and beaten. That's not how it works. It's not how it works. Reyes beat him majority. That's how it works. It's round by round scoring. Reyes won 3-2. Reyes won 3-2, and he beat him clearly. Jones fans just don't. They just completely have no brain. And back to that topic I was talking about, he just jonesing around, Jones by murder, when they're talking about like Alex Pereira and him. Back to, like I said, couldn't even finish Reyes and lost to him. And you expect him to just go through Alex Pereira like it's nothing? Really? Props to him. He got Ciryl Gane out in 2 minutes. Ciryl Gane is a horrible grappler. He gave up. We all saw that fight. Like, he takes Smith 5 rounds, can't even finish him, but we expect him to just destroy Pereira like it's nothing and murder his opponents. He doesn't murder his opponents unless they're oversized middleweights. Like, besides, we don't even count, we're not going to count the old man Stipe win. The Ciryl Gane win, yeah, I'll count that. You know what? He got him. Ciryl Gane, but he did quit Ciryl Gane, so whatever. And the Gustafsson 2 fight, not counting that because he was on PEDs. And they needed to go to a whole different whole different arena, a new what do you call it again? Commission, so it can be allowed whatever he was popped for. And the other one took Gustafsson to a razor close fight. Took Smith 5 rounds. Took Santos to a split decision on one leg. Took OSP 5 rounds. Took Reyes 5 rounds, lost to him. And took an old man Stipe in nearly 4 rounds. And still looks shit. It's unbelievable. It is absolutely unbelievable. And then now back to the Tom situation of, oh my God, yes, like how they say, oh yeah, Tom just can't keep Jon Jones' name out of his mouth. Of course he can't. Another classic Jones fan opinion. Of course Tom Aspinall won't be able to keep his name out. He's literally the champ of his division. And we've heard Tom say before. We've literally heard Tom say before. I'll fight anyone as long as it's for undisputed. He didn't care who it was. Of course, he thought a Jon Jones win would be great for him. Probably the best win out of like fighting anyone else because it'd make his resume look really good. He beats the so-called sport of the GOAT. I don't think he is. He's a PD cheat, but a lot of people think he is the number one GOAT. That'd be a great win for Tom. He'd love that fight, obviously. Of course, Tom Aspinall wouldn't. Why wouldn't he want a Jon Jones fight? Of course, he would. But that's not the main reason why he was just purely hunting down. Like, he only cared about the Jon Jones fight mainly because he was holding the belt that Tom wanted. But Jones fans be like, oh yeah, he just can't stop talking about Jon. He just like all he does is just think about Jon. Of course he is. He wants to become the heavyweight champ of the world. Jon is being a bitch and just holding on to the belt at the top of the division, hoping that he can somehow get another fight that's not Tom. And yeah, they have no thinking ability. And whenever you do beat them in an argument, they just pull out 17 offenses, 17. Oh, Tom just stands no chance. Look at all these opponents. Look at all these guys. Yeah, whatever. Anything but saying, oh yeah, he just won't fight Tom. Just say that already. Ridiculous. We all know if Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall were never associated with each other in the and during this past year, and they never got brought up together. We know the whole Ciryl Gane situation would have been different. He would have never been blamed for quitting the fight by the eye poke. We know he wouldn't. People wouldn't have said Gane dominated him. But since it involves Jon Jones, and Jon Jones is like the most annoying fan base ever, that's why the narrative's out there. Would never happen. I can almost guarantee it. Jesus, man. Oh, God. But yeah, Jones fans, they looks like they got another win. Looks like they got another win because Tom bled in a fight that just shows Jones would have destroyed him, like he did with Smith, like he did with Reyes. It just shows Tom we just stood no chance with Jon Jones because Ciryl Gane was a really good striker, was hitting some good shots on him and was up by 3 strikes at 25 seconds left of the round. Stands no chance with Jon though. Arguably lost round 1 against Smith. But we'll just forget about that. But Tom stands no chance with Ciryl Gane, who's like a way better striker than Anthony Smith would ever be. But he just stands no chance, guys. He just stands right. Jones fans, man. Holy. Well, that's the end of my video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please like and subscribe. Peace out, guys.